welcome to my kitchen. Lord, we just pray that you would bless our cake baking today. We're going to make a chocolate cake. And I have all the ingredients ready for you. And Naomi's going to put a list of ingredients up there for you to look at. Now we are going to, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to trace your pans on wax paper. Then you're going to either oil or whatever, however you grease them, and then sprinkle them with either sugar or flour. I like to use sugar because it tastes better than flour. And then you get your pans ready. Then I'm going to walk over here and preheat the oven to 350. Now the first thing we're going to do is we are going to sift the dry ingredients. 1 3/4 cup flour, 1 3/4 cup sugar, 2 teaspoons baking soda, 1 teaspoon baking powder, and 1 teaspoon salt. And I'm going to sift that a little bit before I put the 3/4 cup cocoa. 3/4 cup cocoa. Oops. I'm going to sift that dry ingredients together. It's always nice to sift your flour and ingredients together so you don't get any big chunks of lumps in there. Now I'm going to put it on my KitchenAid mixer, put my paddle on. Now we are going to put these together. We're going to put 1 cup of buttermilk, 2 eggs, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. And before you all got here, I made 1 cup of freshly brewed coffee and I let it cool. So now I'm going to start my mixer. Got my spatula, need that. And here's the wet ingredients, and I'm going to pour them into the dry ingredients as the mixer is going. I'm going to let it mix for a little bit. And I didn't forget anything. I'm going to stop my mixer and I'm going to scrape down the sides of the bowl. Let's see, the oven is preheating. You don't have to have a KitchenAid to do this recipe. You can use just a regular hand beater. Did you want to show it in here? Yeah. All right. I'm going to take the paddle off, kind of stir it around. Make sure they're all incorporated together. And here's the batter, how it looks.
Oh, can you show this again a little longer?
Then I have my 2 pans here. this good? Right here in the middle?
Perfect.
Now I'm going to divide the batter between the two pans. Ooh, this smells really good. Okay, so they're about even. And, oh, the oven is not preheated yet. But what we're going to do, we are going to get ready now to make the frosting. So I'm going to come over here and just rinse off my spatula because I just have one. And I have an extra bowl. Where is it? So for the frosting, Naomi, do you have a list of ingredients for the frosting? No. Okay, well, I'll just tell you what they are. Let me get this, move these little items out of the way. Oh, do you know what I forgot to put in the cake? I forgot to put the melted butter in there. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and bake the cake because it doesn't really make that much difference because I've made this cake before without that in there.
That's okay. Still gonna be tasty.
But now we'll make the frosting. Okay, we're going to put in,
Extra butter in the frosting.
yes, we have 1/2 cup of sour cream, 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and in here I have 1 cup of chocolate chips and 1/2 of a cube of butter. I'm going to put that all in the same bowl. Can't believe I forgot that butter. We're going to put it on the KitchenAid. And I'm going to go over here and wash this. Then we're going to put this on. Mix it around. Oh yes, and the powdered sugar. I'm going to get the powdered sugar. I guess that no matter how much you want to get everything ready, but the Lord blesses us anyway. Okay, the oven's ready, so I'm going to put this cake in the oven. And set the timer for 30 minutes. Now I already have another cake made that I'm going to show you how to frost the cake. I'm just going to move this stuff over here. Kind of get it cleaned up a bit. All right, now we have the important ingredients. Powdered sugar. So what we're going to do is I usually use about No, 3.5 cups of powdered sugar. So there's 1 cup, 2, 3. Got my spatula. Now on the frosting, you don't want it too thin, and you do not want it too thick because then you wouldn't be able to spread it. So I'm going to show you how it's going to look when it's done. I added 3 cups of powdered sugar, but it needs more. Actually, I put a little bit more ingredients in so I would be sure to have enough frosting to show you. When you make your cake, don't forget the melted butter. And you can also use olive oil, light olive oil. Gonna add a little more sugar. That ought to be plenty. We'll see here. Now, I have a nice cake plate to put the cake on. And I have the cake made, and I am going to peel off the wax paper. And I'm going to turn it over like this and take the wire off and then put it down right like that. So the first thing we're going to do is, oh, I need to get my tools. All right, let's see if this is ready. Are you getting hungry for chocolate cake? Okay, I'm going to show you how this is supposed to look. As soon as I get this off of here. I found this recipe when we lived in Eureka when Katie and Joni were just little children out of a Hershey cocoa can, I think. And I've been making it ever since. Okay, this camera. See, it's not really hard, but it's not too runny. Can you see that, Christine? Okay. So what I like to do is I like to just put a little bit in the middle so I make sure I have enough for the whole outside of the cake and just spread it around. Then I'm going to get that other layer. We're going to peel the wax paper off. I know a few of you girls have made this cake before. And it really is an easy cake to make. And tastes way better than a box cake. Okay. Now we're going to put the frosting on top of the cake. Move this out of the way. All right. You just kind of smooth some frosting to the edge of your cake, enough to kind of go down the side. And I usually pipe around the bottom, so I don't usually make the frosting go all the way to the bottom. And when I first started making these cakes, I had a lot of flops. So if you have a flop, don't be disappointed. Just do it again. I want to save a little bit out for the piping. Are you kind of getting the idea how to do that? You just kind of smooth the frosting to the edge of your cake so it'll kind of flow down a little bit to your sides. Then you can frost the sides. Kind of like to do it so you can see it, but it's kind of hard. So I like to use this little one to kind of get it pretty much around on the cake. But then I like to use this bigger one to just kind of make sure it's smoothed out really good. All right, now I'm going to get the piping materials. All right. I'm going to use this bag, and I'm going to put one of these, I don't know what they're called. Yeah, I'm going to find a nice tip. Now, see, I could have had this all ready, but I didn't get it ready.
This is perfect.
Okay, so I found my tip. You can use any tip that you want. Then we'll use the leftover frosting in the bowl. Doesn't look like I have too much. Let's stick it in the bag. Now, one thing that chocolate cake does is it makes people smile. So you can remember that after you get your cake done. Give a nice big slice to your dad. Okay. Well, I think I'm going to get a little smaller tip because this one is a bit, it's not that big. I'm going to start piping around the bottom. And I'm just going, can you see that okay? Mm-hmm. See, I'm covering up the chocolate cake that you can see on the bottom. Oh yes, and if you kind of hold the bag up here and then you squeeze with your other hand because you don't want it squirting out the top. I'm just kind of going back and forth. But then you can also do a different thing on the top. You can do little swirls, like you can do a little swirl like that. Go around the cake. Looks like I might run out of frosting. Let's see here. Well, I didn't. So there's the cake. And we are going to cut a nice piece of cake for these girls that are filming.
Thank you.
Let me get some plates. All right. All right, we'll show you how you cut it. You just kind of like that, like that, and then see that piece of cake? And put it on the plate. Oops. Nice fork. Just one. Cut another piece. Whoops. And we'll have to cut Randy one. And there you have it, chocolate cake. Thank you for watching, and God bless you.